Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are going to be talking about acne and how to cover it. And to help us, I have a little visitor here. So yeah, this guy came, I feel like a couple days ago, and has not left. It's real great. So yeah, I'm just gonna take advantage of his visit, and we're gonna try to cover him up. So, starting first with some eye primer. I am skipping regular primer, as you can maybe see. I have a little bit of glow. It's because I recently washed my face and I put on skincare. So I don't know. I just feel like when you wash your face, if you're gonna do makeup, you know, pretty soon after, sometimes you can skip primer. So that's what we're doing today. I'm not gonna wear it. So I remember this video years ago that Desi Perkins did, and it was all about how to cover up acne, whether it was like large cystic acne or acne that was healing and maybe scabbing over. It was a really in-depth, really well-made video. Yeah, and back years ago when I first saw it, I watched it like multiple times because I thought it was so good. And then when this guy started to morph, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go back and watch that video again. And because I was gonna put on makeup and I was like, oh, I don't know if I should wear any makeup because like, how am I gonna make it work with this thing? And so that's when I, you know, went back to reference that video. And then I thought, you know what? I should try to see if it works and film it. So here we are. And I am really excited because yeah, we're gonna see how this works on me. Now, if it doesn't work on me, I'm not discrediting her method. It's probably just user error, but I am going to try because I really want to see if it works. So we're starting off with foundation. Now, I am not going to try to use the exact same products that she used, but some of the products that she used, I actually do have. One of them that she used is this. This is the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk foundation. She mixed in an illuminator. She actually mixed in, and actually I have it, hold on. So Desi mixed in the M.A.C strobe cream, and this is the same shade she had, which is Gold Light. So she mixed these two together. I am not going to mix in this. I actually want to use my Chanel cream. This is the, what is this called again? The Sheer Healthy Glow Highlighting Fluid. I have talked about this before on my channel. This is so good. Mine's in the shade Sunkissed, so I feel like these are gonna be so pretty together. This is in the shade 8.75. And now we're just going to blend. So we are initially covering up the breakout, but basically we're gonna come back to it. So that was like her whole thing, was put on your foundation as if you don't even have a breakout. Just do a nice sheer, you know, layer of foundation, and then come back to the breakout and really kind of pinpoint the coverage just for the area that's breaking out. So that's what we're gonna do. Okay, and then after the initial layer was on, she went back in with a little bit more of the foundation. And we're just going to pat directly over it. Mine is like really raised. This one is gonna be, this is gonna be a challenge, but okay. Then she went in with a hydrating concealer. I'm gonna use this one by Pat McGrath. It is lighter. It's a lot lighter. Oof, that might be too light. Hold on. It never looks that light. Oh, I have one that I should use. Okay. Dang it, how do I take this off? Okay. We're just gonna try to wipe off. Ah, this was not part of her thing. Okay. This looks like a hot mess. Oh my gosh, do I need to start again? Okay, so I kind of tried to take off that Pat McGrath concealer, and then I had a little bit more of the foundation on my hands, so I just tried to add some more around here just to get rid of that light color. The color I actually think I want to use is this one. This one is great. This is the Born This Way Multi-Use Sculpting Concealer. Mine is in the shade Warm Sand, and this should be closer to my skin tone. Yeah, this is definitely closer to my skin tone. Now, to blend this out, I am going to use this brush. This is by Real Techniques. This is, what is this called? The Deluxe Crease brush. 300, that's the number. So it's very soft, and she said to make sure you use a soft one. And so you just want to pat on it, like directly on the blemish, but then blend out a little bit. Like blend out around the blemish, like kind of feather out. So that is what we are attempting to do here. Okay, so now I just went in and added some concealer. I use this one. This is the Rose Ink Concealer, my new favorite. So I'm just gonna use the pointy end and blend that out. We're basically just finishing the rest of our makeup, well, the cream makeup. And one trick that Desi talked about in that video was basically when you have a breakout, trying to distract people and have them focus on other areas of your face. So for me, I'm breaking out right here in this area, so I can use highlight to try to bring more attention to the center of my face. So I'm going to do that with this one. This is the Danessa Myricks, the Vision Flush Tiara highlighter. And I have used this before. It is such a pretty highlight. So we're just blending this in. Okay, so now we're gonna go in with powder. So to start, I'm gonna use this one. This is the Pat McGrath, and I am just going to set my eyes. Nothing, you know, out of the norm there. So I'm gonna set the upper eyelids, and then I'm going to set the lower. I'm gonna try to avoid the highlight, the cream highlight that we just put on. And then for all over the face, I'm gonna go in with this one. This is the Kosas Cloud Set. Mine's in the shade Pillowy. Now this is a really lightweight flower. I almost said flower. This is a lightweight powder, but you can kind of see it there because this brush is brown. So I have a good amount, but when you apply this face powder, it does not give you a super matte look. It definitely allows your skin to still glow, which is why I love it. So when it comes to this area, any powder, I'm just going to kind of tap or like pat in. Okay, and now we're gonna go in with another powder. I know it sounds excessive, but this is what she did in her video and it really did work. So I'm using this Sephora foundation powder, or it's the Matte Perfection Powder Foundation. Mine's in the shade 58 Toffee Peach. So this is like an actual like powder foundation. I don't typically use these. Actually, I don't think I've ever used this on my channel. I don't think. But yeah, powder foundations that add more coverage is usually just too much for me. Usually I like to just go in with, you know, my foundation. And if I'm using a powder, it's gonna be something like the Kosas just to set the coverage that I already have. But today, we need some extra help. So I'm gonna go back in with this Real Techniques like crease brush, and I'm going to pick up some of this powder. And she said you're mainly focusing it around. I mean, you can do a little bit on top, but it's mainly the surrounding area around the breakout. And the reason why is because we're trying to even out the surface, because right now you can still see it still looks like a raised bump, like a raised blemish. So we're trying to trick the eye into thinking that it's all like smooth, I guess. This powder, I don't know if you guys can see it, but it's definitely a little bit darker. So it looks like a ring around my blemish. but I feel like this might be the only one. Let me see if there's another one I have. Okay, so I have this one too. This is the Fit Me Matte Plus Poreless in the shade 330 Toffee Caramel. Is that the same shade? Yeah, this one's toffee and this one's toffee, but they definitely look a little bit different. This one is a little bit lighter. Yeah, this is a little bit lighter. So I already put some of this dark powder on. I'm gonna go in with this brush. This is the Anastasia A6. It's like another like little kabuki brush. And I'm going to try to blend out the darker Sephora shade. So now I'm gonna go back in with the big fluffy brush and I'm just gonna kind of pat. I just wanna, I don't know, take off a little bit of the powder because yeah, I used the wrong shade. Anyway, so now, and I wiped off as much as I could of the Sephora shade. So I'm gonna go back in with this brush to the Maybelline powder. And we're going to pick up some of this. This is like more powder than I've ever used, but if it works, I mean, you know, gotta do what you gotta do. And then just to kind of even it out, she did not do this, but I'm gonna go back in with this fluffy brush and go back in with this Fit Me shade. And I'm just gonna pick up a little bit and go on this side. Just because I have done so much powder over here that I wanna even it out a little bit. So yeah, we're just gonna kind of, actually I'm just gonna take this all around my face and just blend a little bit. Okay, so I went in with one more powder, a little bit under my eyes, as you can see. So I used this one. This is the Laura Mercier, the Secret Brightening Powder. And the reason why I use this is just to, again, like what Desi was saying, is try to distract away from this area and pull people in to the center of my face where I'm not breaking out. So wanted to brighten up underneath the eyes a little bit. So now I'm just going in with some bronzer. And for me, it's not super applicable just because of where my breakout is. But again, same thing. If you are breaking out anywhere in this area where you're applying bronzer or blush, same method of just patting. You don't want to swipe too much because you don't want to move any of the product. You just kind of want to gently like pat over the area. But in my case, there's not too much going on up here. So I'm just going to go ahead and blend this out like usual. And I wanna say that Desi used the shade Peaches. Yeah, and I do have that shade. So I don't think I've used it in a while. I'm just gonna go ahead and use this for my blush. And then the last thing that Desi did to help with the blemishes is she turned them into little beauty marks. So she actually did it with an eyeshadow and then a really small like detail brush, something like this. So you could definitely do this. And you could go in with like liquid or powder and just kind of, you know, draw there. But I'm going to use this. This is actually the Benefit Precisely My Brow pencil that I use for my eyebrows. And I just feel like it has a really small little like detail tip. So, and she said that the way you want to do it is go right there on the actual tip and then just kind of, you know, go from there. I feel like I can't see, hold on. Okay, so I went ahead and finished the rest of my makeup off camera, but what do you guys think of our little friend here? It looks like it shrunk, right? Like, I don't know, I feel like it does. I think it looks so, so much better. Now, being 100% honest, it is definitely still a little bit raised. Like I can see it's still like, especially from like certain angles, I can see there's still a little bit of a bump there, but nowhere near as bad as what it did look like. So before it looked definitely a lot larger. It looked very red, very inflamed. I don't know. So yeah, this most definitely helped a lot. And I did, because I went ahead and darkened this guy, I used the same eyebrow pencil and I went over like any other freckles or beauty marks that I had on my face already, just to help it kind of like blend in all together. So I don't know, maybe that helped a little bit, but overall I'm so, so pleased with this. I'm so glad it worked. And that was such a good idea. I'm so glad she had that video because so many people do struggle with stuff like this. So it's super helpful. I will link her original video down below. Highly suggest taking a look at it. I mean, she just goes step by step and it's so easy to follow. So it's a good video to like have in your favorites. But yeah, if you guys like this video, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye guys.